Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. And it is the end of the day for the AI Summit. So we're going to make it really fast-paced and high energy because I know as we get to this stage in the day, it's hard to stay awake. And I'm also going to tell you that I will automate your note-taking for this session using AI. So stick around for that. First of all, I know people are still arriving and people are still sitting down, so I'll give you a chance to get comfortable. But I want to, first of all, get a raise of hands to just, first of all, see who is using AI somehow in their work? Raise your hands. Okay, keep your hands up. If you're using AI to write emails, keep your hands up. If you're using AI to write text messages, keep your hands up. Okay, very interesting. This is my point. AI really can enhance us and augment us. And I'm going to give you 10 really good tools to show you how you can use it. And this is not just like on a radio show or a podcast. This will be at a management level as well, sales and marketing, generating leads. And it'll be really exciting, fast-paced stuff that I hope you're going to be able to take home and use practically as well. Before I get started, I'll just tell you a little bit about who I am. In fact, I don't need to tell you. You can just read it on the screen. And rather than tell you all my credentials, I'll tell you a story. I've been teaching audio on my original YouTube channel for 15 years, and it's been really good to me. I've really enjoyed doing it, teaching people, as Lee said, how to use Adobe Audition and things like that. And the last year or two, I hit a real rut. I just found that I was coming up with no more ideas. I couldn't think about what to put out, and I just kind of felt sick about doing another video about how to use a compressor and set EQ up. And I thought, this is not good. What's happening to me? Like, I've worked in radio all my life. I literally embraced it from the age of 13 when I was a hospital radio volunteer in the UK. And I know we have an international audience here. Hospital radio is a voluntary radio station, for those of you that don't know, that broadcasts to patients inside the hospital. And it's a very UK-specific thing. So I really had a passion for radio from the very start. And I hit like this existential crisis about 2 years ago. And then AI came along. But it wasn't as simple as that. I realized that I could use AI to enhance what I was doing. And I started doing it. I had a resurgence with my audio channel and everything else I was doing. It was almost like it gave me the answers I needed. And then I kept going. And then AI said, hey, you know, I had this contextual messaging with ChatGPT. I know you're all using that. And it said, do you know what? Because I would ask it questions, I would prompt it and say, based on everything I've told you, what's something about me that I might not already know? And it said, you're doing all this audio stuff, but you know, you seem to be very interested in AI. Why don't you start a YouTube channel about that? So it was kind of AI has put me here on this stage. It's very freaky and meta. Anyway, with that story told, now you know a little bit about me. Like I say, my credentials are there. And now I did make the link yellow, but it's actually kind of blue, so it merges in. Hopefully you can read it, but I'll let you know. Now, this is the most important link. This is the link that essentially takes the work away from you, because I will send you all the tools with the notes and how to use them and all the prompts I'm going to give you. So you don't need to sit there and scribble, or some of you might even have a transcriber out transcribing and summarizing this session. It'll be sent to you. But the reason I really want you to go there is one of my tools uses a multifaceted, I can't even say it, multifaceted AI agent. Now, it's very important, if you want this to work well, that you fill that form out as truthfully as you can. And here's the kicker. At the end of the session, in about 40 minutes, I will be looking for 3 volunteers to read out to me what comes back to them when they fill out that form. You will get an email during this session with my tools, so you won't have to wait, and it'll be special, okay? I'll be looking for 3 volunteers, and I'll tell you what I'll do at the end as well, because you'll be really brave volunteers. I might throw in some prizes for the 3 volunteers who actually get in first and give me what they get. So basically go there. And you're going to see it in a moment. You're going to see the process that you'll go through. But I think it'll be interesting. For those of you that can't see it, it's mrc.fm/RDE25. And with that said, let's get into the tools. We're going to start off with one kind of crazy tool. Then we're going to go into AI agents and prompting AI. And we're going to finish up with a few audio tools and also some image tools for your social media and how to make things look good. So let's start off with Wondercraft. Now, Wondercraft has been really rising over the last year or so when they started off essentially allowing you to create AI-generated podcasts. But now they've turned it into a fully fledged editor. And I know many of you will be editing professionally using digital audio workstations and such, but this can really speed you up. And one use case I found recently was Google's Notebook LM. Just again, a little raise of hands. Who in the audience is using Google Notebook LM? Okay, cool. So very, very cool to see that. This is excellent for anything. You can put all of your information in here. Essentially, you can create a notebook and throw in a bunch of stuff. YouTube links, copied text, everything. I actually made a notebook here about Mr. Beast's video. Yes, you can paste in YouTube links.
All right, so
I made a podcast.
We're diving deep into the world of flying.
So that was the short thing, but you can do an interactive podcast.
We're diving deep into the world of flying today.
Whoa, did someone just break the fourth wall? Let's hear it.
Just curious, did Mr. Beast experience any turbulence on his flights?
That's a great question. I don't recall any specific mentions of turbulence.
Yeah, I don't think they hit any major turbulence in the video.
So there you go. That is pretty incredible. Not only can you generate audio overviews of the notes you put into a Google Notebook LM, but you can also now interact with those podcasts, which again, as audio creators, gives us a little bit of an existential crisis of where are things going. But you can actually take that content and bring it into this tool.
Mr. Beast going all out as usual.
Now, you heard again a little clip from that Notebook LM podcast. It actually will go ahead and transcribe everything that's said and separate it out into separate host tracks, which means you can then go ahead and click Voice Changer up here. And not only do they have a bunch of different voices available to you, but you can actually choose your own voice clone. This is what I did. I clicked my voice clone. Then I went to the plus button and I said, apply all changes to speaker 2 on my Wondercraft track. It went ahead, it did that, and
Mr. Beast going all out as usual.
It actually replaced the host in the Notebook LM podcast with my voice. Pretty crazy. And as you'll see here from this sped up overview here, it's an audio editor. You can edit both tracks. Both hosts are split onto different tracks. You can add in music from their library. You can fade. You can do all those cool things, sound effects, and so much more. But my favorite feature of this, before we move on to the next tool, is director mode. And I think this is incredible. And anyone in here a voiceover artist? Okay, one or two? Okay, cool. This gave me, I do voiceovers too, and this gave me a real oh my goodness. I was like, yeah, AI can clone our voice. Yes, it can do all these great things, but it'll never be able to deliver the line exactly the way the producer wants it. Director mode allows you to take something that was said and tell the AI voice how to say it. Watch this. I went into the prompt box here and said, add laughter throughout. It took one of my lines that was delivered normally, thought about it, and then made something new.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Beast going all out as usual. Let's explore that on this Wondercraft special podcast episode.
I'm not sure that's actually how I laugh, but it's incredible. So I encourage you to try it out. If there's one thing you should take away, go and play with director mode in Wondercraft. It's awesome. Okay, tool 2, like I said, this is going to be quick fire. Zapier, AI automation. Now, I'm sure many of you may already have heard of Zapier. It's been in the game for a while. There are other alternatives as well that take one thing and connect it to another thing. Like, if I get an email from my boss, please reply with I'm on it. Yeah, we've been able to do that for years and years. But now, Zapier and other tools like this that do workflow automations can help us create AI agents. And if you take one thing away from this talk today, I want this to be it. AI agents are the buzz of 2025. They are automating our work, they're doing the boring things, and you can apply this in radio, in podcasting, in audio production in general, in so many ways. It can apply widely to any industry, and I want you to get some ideas from this one little automation as to how it can work. So let's have a look at what we've done. Now, this, again, is meta, because I've asked you to go to the link, mrc.fm/RDE25, fill in your details. You will then go through to my AI agent that I created. So first of all, I went to Zapier interfaces. By the way, this will all be in the notes I'll give you how to do it. I created a web form, which is an easy way to get leads. So think about this. If you're in sales or marketing and you want to gather prospects, you can throw up a quick form and get people to fill it out. If you're at an event, you can get people directed to this form. In fact, it's exactly what I'm doing with you here in this room right now. And Zapier make it easy. I mean, there are lots of form generations. You can use Google Forms, of course, but they make it easy to collect everything in a table, and they've got a designer, so you'll see this will look familiar because this is what's at the link I've given you. It's got the fields you need to fill out, but not only that, I can go in and I can add other things like some text. And again, I'm just changing the text up there, get the AI tools, and then I just put in beneath it a little subheader there, enter your details to get access immediately. And then that goes into my Zapier automation, but it doesn't stop there because I can do more things. I can also rearrange it, get it at the top, get it looking nice. Okay, next, I'm going to go in and create a Zap, which essentially is an automation. And then I look for interfaces inside Zapier, and I look for it, there it is, and I add it, and then I need to go in and I need to say, when the form is filled out, do this process. Now, this is where it gets interesting, and AI becomes heavily involved, because now I'm passing your details, I hope you don't feel any fear now that you've filled out the form, to my AI agents that are going to go and do some work for me. Now, it's important you pay real attention to this because this is really interesting. You go on and add more steps, all of which I'll let you know in the notes exactly how they work. But I've essentially added access to Perplexity. I don't know if any of you have used Perplexity. It's awesome. It has real-time internet access. And weirdly enough, if you type in the name of someone, and it helps for more context if you're not famous, to put in the company as well, and Perplexity will come back and tell you in a quick summary exactly what that person does. That's pretty crazy. So my first AI agent goes out and researches every one of you. Right? I told you this is going to be a surprise, maybe a bit too much. And then I go to ChatGPT, and actually I'll show you how I've set this up. I've said, write a short, friendly, informal email to, and then you can bring things from other parts of the automation, to, and then the name of the person who filled out the form. And then I've gone on to say, and use a fact or two from what the other AI agent found to write a nice email. And then I just put in a few more details and essentially make it a little bit funny and humorous. So hopefully I can put a smile on your face. Put this all together, and then I gave it a system prompt saying you're a world-class humorous email writer. And then we went on to the next step, which was simply to set up my Gmail. And of course, I've just put your email here, and I've said, send it from me, Mike at Creator Magic, and send it to you. And you should, if you've done this, you should get an email back. And we'll save the best ones for the end. Like I say, I'm looking for 3. Now, I've kind of also added in a couple of extra steps where I've staggered those emails because I didn't want 70, 100, 200 emails to go out all at once and overwhelm my Gmail inbox. So sometime between now and the next 20 minutes, you should start getting an email. You're welcome to refresh. If you're looking down at your phone, I won't think that you're bored. But just to see that the automation is working, because I'm a bit nervous, if you've already had an email from me, can you just raise your hand, please? Okay, yeah, we've got some people that are getting emails. Good. Okay. Don't worry if you filled out the form and didn't get the email. It's coming later. Okay, so this is all really cool, and that's done. Oh, and it's very important. I needed to publish the automation to make sure it goes live. And you can do this really simply. Again, this is a simple AI agent process, and I'm going to show you an example of a reply I got back, but I want to put a really fine point on AI agents, because you hear a lot of buzz about that. What are they? What do they do? And I want to be very clear here. AI agents are not things that say, if this happens, do that, all right? That's existed for 20 years on the internet with if this, then that. If I get home, switch my lights on, that kind of thing. That is not AI agentic. That is simply one thing to do the next thing. An AI agent in the loop is really when you introduce AI that starts to think for you. So it's doing jobs that I could do, and I can give it the trust to do those jobs for me. So researching who you are, that's agentic. Writing an email to you, that's agentic. Switching on my car and heating it up, that's not agentic, that's just a job that has existed for a while. So I hope you use this well. This is what I got back, actually. So you should get an email like this, and it'll say, thanks, my AI tools for you. You'll get the link instantly to the notes. Hope you're doing awesome. Wanted to drop you a quick note to say how much I appreciate the amazing content you put out. Also, I have to say, 300,000 subscribers on your first YouTube channel, that's enough to fill a stadium, or at least an enthusiastic podcast convention. Your tutorials have saved me more times than I can count, so extremely personal. Now, this is an example for us all here in this room, but imagine whatever it is you're doing, how you could use this. If you could set up an AI agent that could work on your behalf to be personal on a mass scale. Now, I'm not encouraging you to use this to spam or to do crazy things and like mass reach out to people and not even overlook it. You know, I was just saying out in the corridor earlier on in a conversation, I think AI will have reached super level intelligence when it can fully manage my inbox without me worrying. And I know at the moment, I can't trust AI with my inbox. So that's kind of like a bit of a yardstick for me. Right, let's get on to ChatGPT. I want to keep it nice and pacey. And let's look at how we can use it for AI sales, marketing, and analytics. Now, I want to get through these quite quickly and obviously get all 10 in and save time for Q&A and some of your examples. So let's look at these. Now, all the prompts and stuff I show up here, it's all in the notes, so don't worry about, again, worrying about all this stuff. But I want to go through some of the latest models from ChatGPT and how you can use them. ChatGPT o1 Pro. Yes, that is the $200 a month plan. And I heard rumors just the other day, you might even have seen them yourself, that they're introducing eventually a $2,000 a month plan and even a $20,000 a month plan. Now, you might go, at that, but actually, you know, if you're a manager, and you're spending money on that, or even if you want to create a high-level business or idea yourself, this is insane. I thought to myself, I will never pay more than $20 a month for ChatGPT. And then I dropped it. First time, I upgraded last month to the $200 a month plan. And I tried o1 Pro, and my jaw went to the floor. I'm not kidding you. I'm not a shill for OpenAI. I don't work for OpenAI. I have no association. I'm just like, wow. It's taken a very speedy, fast output that's like, yes, of course I can do that. Here's the answer. I'm like, no, wait and think. And this is the key thing with AI. It's starting to take time to reason and give you the right answers. So what can we do with o1 Pro? Quick examples here. Analyze audience retention, find the best bits of your recorded shows, feed in audience listening data, really anything. Here's the example prompt based on this info. Tell me the most engaging quotes from my podcast. How am I doing that? So I've got my podcasts on YouTube, and YouTube is great. It gives me really detailed analytics on everything I put out, including, very important for me, a retention graph like that. Actually, that was a rubbish retention graph, but never mind. And then I go into the advanced mode, and I download it as a CSV file. And if you don't know what it is, it's a simple document that's in text, and it's basically a spreadsheet of all your audience data. And then I take it, I upload that data to ChatGPT o1 Pro. And this is the key thing, and many of you will be able to transcribe. There's so many tools out there to do it. I upload the transcription with timestamps to o1 Pro. And so you'll see here, there's all my transcription. I've put my audience retention data in there. And now I've basically said, based on all this, tell me the most engaging bits from my podcast. Imagine how you could use this on a mass scale to analyze the kind of content that's going out on your station. And look over on the right there, it's actually thinking through everything. I noticed a decline in audience, just in general. Sorry, that's probably my content. But I'm analyzing retention trends. I notice spikes at 11 minutes and 20 minutes. I'm piecing together the noticeable retention. Oh, look at this minute. I'm also noticing this fluctuating audience here. This is way more than, now I know we're from all over the world, but where I'm from in the UK, it's Radar that measures radio. You know, I remember the old, filling out the diary and saying, I think I listened to that radio station at that time. If you can feed in really detailed analytics, o1 Pro can give you insane stuff back. And look at this. This is just the example. It thought for 2 minutes and 43 seconds. And it basically said at 5 minutes, you said if you've used voiceover, the game is over, full stop. You're no longer needed. Sorry, that's a bad one, isn't it? Then the second quote, if you're selling your voice on Fiverr or a Blue Yeti microphone, forget it. And it's pulled out the best parts of that podcast. So I could use that if I'm a manager, to go back to my host and say, look, that really worked. Do more of that. The audience loved that. You know how you kind of use your sort of, management vibe to figure out what's right. Now AI can pinpoint it. And of course, we can use this on social media. I can say, right, based on those 5 quotes, make me some excellent social posts. Oh, and find the timestamps in the video so we can clip it and get it straight out. So that's really cool. Then we got deep research. Now, this one's also rolled to the $20 a month plan, which is cool because you no longer have to pay the $200 if you don't want to, and it will go across the internet and find answers to your issues. What's it good for? It looks, as I've said, just all across the internet at different sources. It uses O1 Pro if you're paying $200, so you get kind of a better quality of response, I suppose. Gives you a comprehensive report. Here's my example for Athens. Find me 5 highly rated coffee shops in Athens that would be good for a 25 to 40 audience and would benefit from advertising on a modern music radio station. Research them, blah, 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 all of that good stuff. And I switch on deep research. I paste that prompt in, and then I say, all right, go. Now, it's not going to, this is the brilliant thing. It's that thinking fast and slow mentality. This is thinking slow, because it's like, whoa, 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 hang on a second there, Mike. You want to find all these coffee shops in Athens? First of all, is it Athens, Greece, or Athens, Georgia, USA? Secondly, do you have any preferences with the shop ambience? So I fill out further details. So my AI is actually saying, hang on, what do you really want? It's clarifying it, and then I give it all the answers. And obviously, the last one I said, yes, I do want active on socials, coffee shops, because that'd be good. It says, okay, I'm on it. And then I can go away and have a cup of coffee, because it takes a little while to do the research. And again, you'll see, while it is researching, it's thinking again over in the right. You can pop this open just by clicking the little searching bar there. And look, it's actually going through, it's searching web links. Can you see that? Wanderlog.com. And then it's going on, and it says, I'm honing in on social media, top coffee shops in Athens. And I know, I do believe we've got a few Athens locals here today. Anyone local to Athens? Raise your hand if you are. Yes, excellent. I'm sure the tech team are you local to Athens? Yes. Okay, so you can tell me if this result is good. If I hear a cheer from the right, then it'll have done well. If not, then I'll just ignore it. We'll let it go and do its work while I tell you about ChatGPT 4.5. Now, this was launched just the other week. I was saying to Lee, who's done a great job today for the AI Summit, I'm like, I'm doing the talk, I'm preparing it, and I'm like, oh no, something else has come out. I've got to tell you about that. So ChatGPT 4.5, it's in the $200 a month plan, but they've also put it in the $20 a month plan, which is cool. It's a very expensive model, and it's been trained with like the biggest amount of compute ever, apparently. Now, it's a great writer. In fact, OpenAI said it's good at writing text messages. So like all those... I don't know. It has great emotional intelligence. So a couple of sample prompts from me on this, ideas how you could use it. Write me custom emails to each coffee shop, offering advertising on the radio station, and keep it short and personal. Write a great social media post for this podcast episode, and then obviously give your highlight quotes. Before I get back to ChatGPT 4.5, let's look at the results from O1 Pro. I'm really hoping I'm going to get a cheer for this. Look, it's done all this research. It's gone through all these websites like TripAdvisor, Instagram, and it has come up with tailor-made coffee roasters and given me a big insight to that. The Underdog as well is another big one. Not hearing any cheers yet. And see these web sources. Lot 51, which is just over the road. Any good? Yes, getting a thumbs up. Dope Roasting Co. And so on. So if you're looking for a coffee later, Lot 51, it's on Google Maps. It's like 5 minutes from this center. But like, I can't verify it. I haven't been there yet. But ChatGPT 01 told me it's good. So now I'm saying, write me custom emails to each coffee shop. Oh, and I don't know if you could see, but I changed the model from O1 Pro to 4.5 because it's a really good emotional writer. And I want you to offer advertising on our radio station, keep it short and personal. Boom, off you go. And then 4.5 is not a thinker. It gets back to you quite quick, but it takes some time because it's a big model. And then here you go. Here's your email to tailor-made coffee roasters. Now, of course, it's not going to be perfect. You might need to tweak it. It might, not be quite the style, but you can further refine it. Notice how it's writing all the emails out, but not only that, it's opened a new window where it's drafting those emails. So this is a new feature, relatively new feature from ChatGPT called Canvas. So you can go back into the chat box over there and say, no, that was too funny, or that wasn't informal enough. Do it again. And then rather than doing a new chat back to you, it'll just update that little canvas over in the right. So it's awesome. Okay, what have we got now? Oh, this is the podcast I was telling you about again. Again, this is from my audience retention that I did earlier. Sorry, I'm skipping around a little bit. Write a great social media post about this episode, I've said. So I've got all that research on the bits that really got my audience's attention. And again, then 4.5, ChatGPT 4.5, the great writer, thinks, okay, I'm going to make some really good posts here. And actually, it just said, is AI about to wipe out human voiceover artists, or is creativity our last line of defense? Whoa. I've also said my boss is hassling me to edit the next podcast. Write him a short email and give me an excuse as to why I'm due it tomorrow. Let's see what it comes back with. Quick update. Just a quick note, I'm wrapped up with some urgent priorities today, so I'll have to do that. That was rubbish. He's not going to buy that. Let's, come on, make it more believable and longer. Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. He really needs a good description here. Hey, just wanted to update you quickly. I've been tackling a few unexpected tasks today, and a couple of edits have taken longer than I anticipated. I'd rather not rush and compromise the quality, so I'll get the podcast episode finalized first thing tomorrow morning to make sure it's polished and ready to go. Thanks for your understanding. I appreciate your patience. ChatGPT 4.5. And actually, this is a very quick one. I want to rifle through because we are, we've still got a good amount of time, I think. I also use it as a sales and marketing assistant. I can use it to find leads. I actually downloaded a list of exhibitors at the IBC conference in Amsterdam a few years ago. And I said, just find me all the exhibitors and give a 10 out of 10 of how relevant they are to radio, audio, and podcasting. I just want to meet the right people at this event. And I went to the IBC website. I just downloaded the page with all the exhibitors down to a file and then uploaded that. And again, it's another cool idea for you. I don't want to go too much into detail on that. But so I uploaded the web page and I said, right, find me the right ones for me. And boom, it comes straight back. You want to go to AI Media. It's at booth 5.C33. You want to go to this one, that one, the other one. It's brilliant. It gave me a hit list and really helped me. So I am using AI extensively so much to do everything. It's a game changer. Actually, before I get on to the next thought there, I was just thinking it's incredible what AI can do for you. And again, I just want to remind you, I really feel it's here to augment us, not to replace us. And I know that the superintelligence is going to have a real laugh with me when it takes over and short clips this part of the YouTube video and says, ha! Here was the guy saying it's not going to replace you. Look at it now. Anyway, sorry, I don't want to go there. Let's look at Grok. I was talking to Ricky actually up in the top. He's got a great company there. He's doing amazing things with AI and news, and I'm like, wow. So definitely go and chat with Ricky because he's doing cool stuff. I've just got a few examples for real-time information and using Grok 3. Again, it's a recently released model from X. That's Elon Musk's thing. And it helps you stay ahead of the news curve, get real-time info, and use sentiment on anything. So I've got a couple of sample prompts. Rumors around AirPods 3. Can you find anything on socials about that? Or something that has been announced, like the iPhone 16e, launch and compile a 60-second on-air news bulletin. Now, again, these are just quick and easy prompts that you can type in. So I did the one with the AirPods Pro 3, and it just comes back. It searches X, which is, of course, as you know, formerly Twitter, all real-time, and some web pages. It gives me a nice analysis of everything that's out there on the rumors on AirPods 3, so I can quickly get sentiment. In fact, when I came over to this conference, in the UK where I live, on the Isle of Wight, I had to take a ferry to get to mainland UK to finally get to the airport in London to fly here. And the ferry was like bonkers nuts. I've never seen it so busy before. I was like, what on earth is going on? And back in the past, I would have probably taken to one of the social platforms and tried to find like white links, like user group page, and sift through to see if anyone had announced something or posted something. And I just went to Grok because it has all the access to X. And I said, ferries on the Isle of Wight, extremely busy. Why? It searched social media, immediately came back and said, unusual shipping patterns in Portsmouth. Didn't give me any more than that, but at least it told me. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Another example here, I'm using DeepThink, and I'm saying find everything about the iPhone 16e. So information that exists on the internet, it'll go through, it'll search it all, compile the best, and again, it thinks for a little while before answering. And it also gives you key citations, so the websites it's taken the information from. And then you can go ahead and go to think mode in Grok. And again, you need to pay a premium subscription to access this stuff, but it actually goes through and it thinks about things before it gives you an answer. And then it thought for a few seconds, and it's written me a 60-second news bulletin on what exactly is happening there with the iPhone 16e. Again, you might want to tweak it, but Grok is great for real-time stuff. Adobe Enhance, this is the big one. Most of you probably know it. It got a V2 upgrade late last year. It's actually a lot better. So many of you know that you can probably drag in this audio or video, and it'll go ahead and it'll process it and give you an enhanced version of it. So if I play this back to you now, I'll actually play it back, the unenhanced, and then I'll switch on enhanced speech.
The audio quality is not that good, but with Adobe Enhance, it can make my voice sound a whole lot better using AI.
Now that's nuts if you're into audio AI tools. I've got a few of them coming up for you, by the way. This is the first one. I do think that's incredible, and it's got better as well. So many people have asked me what's the difference between the original V1 and this new V2. It just has a better kind of tone and processing on the audio. The original Adobe Enhance sounded quite processed and robotic. This V2 is much smoother. It can also isolate background sounds and things like that much easier as well. So I really think it's phenomenal. But not only that, I've taken this clip.
Hi Mike, it's Isabella here in our wonderful garden.
So that's Isabella in our wonderful garden, and then I've dragged that into the Enhanced Speech V2, and you're going to see here, as I drag it in, it's going to go through. You see you've got a drop down. You can go back to V1 if you should need to, but I recommend V2, and then it's like just uploading my audio, and it's doing all the processing stuff on it, going through, making it all nice for me. You can throw anything that's poorly recorded or sounds bad and basically get studio quality mic audio on your stuff. And then you get something back like this, but it has some extra sliders. So you've got not only enhance or original, but you can go through speech.
Hi Mike, it's Isabella here
So you can enhance
in
or
our
not
wonderful
enhance.
garden.
And background.
Talking to you and hoping that you can do something
So
with
you
my
can boost the
audio,
background
because I don't
or
think
not.
It sounds so good.
Now, on these speakers, you might not be able to hear that there's like background noise, there's like garden noise, like works in the background. These speakers nicely clean it up, actually, but there is a significant difference, and it's just got better over time, and I think this is one of those things that's only going to get better. This is on the web. Obviously, in the notes I'll give you, I've got the link to it, but also it's directly integrated into Adobe Premiere Pro. Sadly, it's not in Adobe Audition. Don't ask me why it's not. It's not. But it is in Premiere Pro, so if you're doing clips for your socials and stuff with some video as well, that could be quite helpful. UVR is the next tool. It's an AI vocal remover. It's completely free and it works on everything. This is something on my my original YouTube channel, the one about audio, that I've spoken about for years. In fact, it's been one of my most popular videos. How do I remove vocals from songs? Or, you know, how do I get only the a cappella of the songs? UVR, I would say, is now your answer. It runs locally on your computer, no connection to the internet needed, which is super cool. I just got Miley Cyrus, Flowers, and stuck it in there and said, give me the output to my downloads folder. Start to do the processing. It does it. It doesn't take long at all. It's surprisingly fast. And, well, here's a few examples you can judge for yourself. Original. Music only now, which is... wow. Vocals.
Talk to myself for hours. See things you don't understand.
That's pretty nuts, isn't it? That's all locally on a computer. No cloud upload needed, no fancy software like Logic or anything else. You can do it right there with this free app, and I just recommend it because it's so lightweight and easy. Here's another example. I'll let you judge for yourself.
I'm in love with the shape of when we let the story begin. We're going out on our first date.
That's vocal
You and
only.
me are thrifty, so go all you can eat. Fill up your bag and I fill up the plate.
And then music only. So it's cool. It's a great little app, UVR. Go and use it if you're making promos and bits like that. It can be really helpful. Also want to shout out Auphonic as one of my audio AI tools because they just do everything really well. The stuff I'd spend like hours in studios doing, particularly for podcast processing, This is cool. And again, these tools I'm showing you, these are just the best tools that I've found for the job. No one's paying to be in this presentation, just in case you wondered. So Orphonic is a tool that I've used from time to time to just get episodes out really quickly. And it'll do you AI post-production, so it'll take something that sounds really quiet and not very good.
They are not willing to learn the manual.
Can't even hear it, and I don't need the tech to turn it up. It's fine. It's just quiet and awful. So I can drag and drop that podcast recording I did. It also takes video, by the way, as well, which is cool. And then I can choose a preset here. So I can choose something like voice cleaner and, remove the gaps, make it all clean. Look at that. It's done instantly, like so quick. That is incredible. Not only that, I then take this.
They are not willing to learn the manual.
And turn it into.
They are not willing to learn the manual techniques of doing that.
Yes, that's so much better. Really quick, again, for those of you who are geeky and love to look at waveforms, this is before, this is after. For those of you that are even geekier, like to look at spectral frequency, there's all the noises between the speech, and there it is after. Nice and clean. So yeah, you know it, you love it, it's great, go and try it, Orphonic, and another cool thing about Orphonic is they have all these presets as well. So if you have a certain way you work on your podcast or in your radio station, you can say, right, need it to be MP3, it needs to be this bit rate, I want these meta tags applied. Another important thing down here, I want the adaptive leveler on and loudness normalization to minus 16 LUFS for podcasts, etc., etc. So it's cool, it's a time saver, and it does a lot of very clever audio engineering techniques. Who's used 11 Labs? Oh, okay, a few of you. See, the last time I did this talk, I actually did it at Radio Days Asia, and I also included 11 Labs, slightly different use cases, but it was interesting because hardly any hands went up. And I do think that, this is becoming more and more now a bread and butter in radio, audio, podcasting, everything. So I want to give you the quick examples for those of you that haven't used it yet. You can just see how it works. It can do AI voices, sound effects, and dubbing. And again, it's an app with many different tabs on the menu side. So you can go in. Voice cloning is the big one, so you can make an AI voice clone. It's pretty much realistic. And then I can go into the text box up there, and I can say, hello, everyone at Radio Days Europe 2025. And then click Generate Speech, and it'll be me.
Hello, everyone, at Radio Days Europe 2025.
It's a bit wooden, really. Let's regenerate that and see what comes.
Hello, everyone, at Radio Days Europe 2025.
That's more natural, and I can change style and tone and stuff, but I can also choose other voices from the library, like Father Christmas. Let's generate the speech.
Hello, everyone, at Radio Days Europe 2025.
I know it's weird to have Father Christmas in March, but hey, there you go. So you can see it's really good, really fast, text-to-speech, very natural sounding. Not only that, though, I can go over to this beautiful menu. It's over there, and I can go to the sound effects generator. It can make sound effects. So if you're scrabbling through SFX libraries to make that promo, soda can opening, moments, it will generate those soda can opening sounds and give you 4 alternative options to work with. You can then go and play each one. There's 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. There you go. So you'll probably find something there and you can re-roll. So if you're not happy, you can generate new stuff. It's really, really cool. Oh, and the final thing, I wanted to use this little clip of Rowan Atkinson. You can listen to it in English.
I probably enjoyed playing Mr. Bean the most because he's a character who's furthest away from my own character.
Okay, so there he is talking in English. But 11 Labs has this awesome feature called dubbing, and it allows you to take anything that's spoken, whether it's audio and video, and transform it into another language. You may have seen companies last year such as Spotify and even YouTube integrating this natively, the ability to dub and essentially reach a wider audience. We're in Athens, Greece right now, where many of us are all speaking different languages, and many people do not speak English at all, and therefore you can reach a much bigger audience by uploading your content, however it was made, audio, video. I'm going to call this Bean, and then I'm going to go in and choose Spanish. It just detects the language, it knows. Then I drag in the video like that, scroll down, don't really need to fill in anything else. So I'll just click Create Dub, and it'll almost do it. There we go, it's done. Let's listen.
probablemente disfruté más interpretando a Mr. Bean porque es un personaje que está más alejado de mi propio carácter.
Not bad. The eagle-eyed of you there will notice it doesn't sync the lips to what is said, but hopefully it does a really good job of translating the audio. There are tools out there such as HeyGen that can actually sync the lips as well, and that is pretty crazy technology. So it's all possible. Let's do this one as well. Let's throw this in. This is French.
J'ai probablement pris le plus de plaisir à jouer Mr. Bean parce qu'il est un personnage qui est le plus éloigné de mon propre caractère.
That's cool, right? So that is dubbing, sound effects generation, AI voice clones, 11 Labs. They're just right at the top. There are other products out there that can also do this stuff, but in my opinion, 11 Labs are doing it in a crazy cool way right now. Just got a couple more tools, and I definitely want to leave some space for those 3 people who are going to read out their personalized emails that have been generated by my AI agents during this talk. And then we'll also get some Q&A. So I really hope you got some good questions. If you are thinking, I need a tool for this, don't be afraid to raise your hand, and I'll do my best to think on the spot about that in maybe 5 minutes when we finish this. Midjourney, I'm using this a lot for image generation, AI social media posts. It's incredible. So I do a lot of thumbnail generation. I know in radio and podcasting, you know, we may be audio first, but we often feel we need to create something really catchy to draw people in to that post we put out on socials. So Midjourney can do that, and I've got a bit of a cheat sheet. So I'm going to show you my use case, which is generating YouTube thumbnails, but you can really use this for anything. So first of all, when you're generating an image with an AI image generator, you need to first of all think about setting the scene. So where, what, and who. And if you're a radio station, this might be your radio host, for instance. You can create an AI image of them. And then, so it's going to be in a garden, it's going to be with strawberries around, and it's going to be a wizard in a red hooded robe. We'll look at that one in a minute. And then there are flags. Again, this is quite technical, but I've broken it down in the notes to this session. You can do character references, where you can upload a photo of someone, and it'll pretty much replicate them, which is really cool, in the AI-generated image. Then you can do CW, which is character weight. Again, if you put it down at 0, the AI will go nuts with whatever clothes it wants to put that person in. Closer to 100 you get, and they're going to be wearing exactly the same clothes as the photo of them you uploaded. So the reason why that one is really good, by the way, is I've said in my prompt that I'm going to show you soon, a wizard in a red hooded robe. Now, if I put character weight at 100, it's going to put me in a purple t-shirt, because that's what I was wearing in the photo I upload. But if I put it down at 50, I might have a wizard's hat on. And if I put it down at 0, I'll probably have like smoke and bubbling cauldrons around me. So that's a really cool tweak if you're generating. AR aspect ratio, 16:9 for, YouTube thumbnails, or 1:1, like square for Instagram and stuff like that. So anyway, let's get to it. I've been experimenting as well with adding the tag at the end, Pixar cartoon character. It works really well. And the cool thing is if you use the character reference, you upload an image, it is pretty consistent in the Pixar cartoon character it gives back, which is awesome. So I'm using this at the moment all the time on my YouTube channel, and I can absolutely tell you from the stats, this is working incredibly well. I split test all of my thumbnails on YouTube, and out of all those I put up there, this cartoon character version of me does the best every single time. So I started putting my face on thumbnails. People hated that. You're not supposed to laugh at that bit. And then I went to text only to see if I could really cleverly dial in what the headline was, and that was a little bit better. And then I went to this Pixar cartoon character, and that's when the videos just really started to gain momentum. Now, I can't say it's entirely just that prompt. It might just be the content got better or more relevant, but definitely in the split test, the cartoon character does come out on top. And so you might want to try that with your posts if you're trying to do something. You can do stuff like that as well. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Pixar cartoon character, looking excited, black background. I often will put something specific about the background. If I want to do a thumbnail, and I don't want all kinds of busy stuff going on behind me, just say black background or, white background. And then it gives you a really nice thing that you can take into Photoshop or something, crop out the character, use it as you wish. Here's that red hooded wizard tending to strawberries amongst standing stones. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Here's another one. Again, a powerful wizard looking at GPUs and very excited. And here's a wizard casting a spell with a llama. That's cool, isn't it? But you might look at that face up there and then look at this face here, and you might say, well, Mike, that's good, but it's not quite you, is it? Midjourney's got like maybe 70, 80% there, but it's not like 100% Mike up in that AI-generated thumbnail. And this is where my final tool comes in, Face Fusion. Now, again, you can run this. There are many cloud websites that run it for you. You don't need to be technical. If you want to be technical, you can install it. And I don't want you to be overwhelmed, because when I show you it in action, it's got 1 million dials, but you really don't need to change anything to get great results. And to give you an example, here's that red hooded wizard again. And then when I use Face Fusion, here it is looking like me-ish. Pretty much better, actually. And then there's the wizard with the llama, and then Face Fusion. There you go. That's really cool, isn't it? And it doesn't end at just AI-generated images. If you're doing video, for instance, I did this like silly video in my YouTube studio where I just like kind of glanced at the camera in a really weird way. That was very weird, but I was like, what if I could look even better, even more crazy, even more exciting, even more entertaining? So I just downloaded a picture of Tom Cruise. That's a good idea. And I went into this. Don't worry about all the dials. I'm just going to do a couple of things. I'm going to click Face Swapper in the top left, and I'll also go in and do Face Enhancer as well, because that works really well. And then it gave me this amazing result. Stand by. Oh no! Oh no! What happened to the final result? Hang on, it's coming. It's coming. Wait for it. It's worth the wait. It's really worth the wait. Here we go, stand by. It gave me this amazing result. Look at that, that's the processing going on there, that's cool. And then, right, this is what you've been waiting for, a little tease there. Here is the amazing result. That's all I got for you, thanks. All right. It doesn't end there, though, because we've got about 10 minutes left, so plenty of time. Think of those questions you want to ask, because I'm going to be doing that next. But first of all, I need to pick 3 winners, and I want to give you something nice. So I've got an AI community, and whoever volunteers and gets through the first 3 will get free 3 months membership to my AI community. So who wants to read out their personalized email? 1 here. Let's start here. And if we can get 3, that would be perfect. And then you have to ping me an email afterwards so I can give you the access. Okay, so just along here, introduce who you are, what company you're from, and just give us an overview of your email that you got back.
Hi, Brian. Rowan from Clay Broadcast. I'm quite impressed by this, it's ridiculous. It starts, hey Brian, hope you're doing great. I've been reading up on Clay Broadcast's expansion, and I've got to say your global reach is seriously impressive. Taking on Africa since 2005 and making such a big success in Nigeria. That's some next level broadcasting diplomacy right there. At this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if you're secretly planning a Clyde broadcast space station next.
And how accurate was it?
It's extraordinarily accurate. And we don't actually publish that 2005 stat. We don't put that, that's not on the website, so
That's
I don't know where that
scary.
came from.
There you go, and that was all done in real time while we did this presentation. Thank you so much, Brian. Follow up with me, please. Right, we're looking for 2 more. Who else is brave enough to read their email? Have we got anyone? I can't really see, so if our rovers can see, yeah, I can see a hand going up there. So let's grab this one up here.
Hi.
Yep. Sorry, I can't see
Sergio
you.
from Prisa Media, Chile. So it says, I hope you're doing great. I came across your book, New Wood for Old Fires. And I have to say, that title is poetic. If I only had read it earlier, I could have used it as an excuse for my failed attempt at barbecue last weekend. Turns out, not all wood is good wood.
Nice. And was it accurate?
I'm not a writer.
Oh, we got you wrong then. There you go. There you go. That's good. That's
illusion.
Is completely hallucinating. Well, it's good to have an example to show we can't fully entrust AI with this stuff. And you know that could have been really bad. That could have gone really wrong. So there you go. All right, we had one more. I did see one more. Let's go for it. Yes, one more. And do follow up with me as well. I'll get you that membership.
Hello, my name is Michelle from Schweizer Radio und Fernsehen. You were writing me following text. Hope you're doing great. I just wanted to say hello and also salute your incredible knack for sports commentary, especially in equestrian sports. I mean, talking about horses on live TV without them actually responding back, that takes real talent. Also, 23 years of SRF, that's some serious dedication. If SRF were a horse, you would definitely have tamed it by now. No AI yet for horse commentary, but hey, maybe one day.
Hey, cool. And was that good or bad?
It was perfect, but I'm quite sure there will be no replacing of horse commentary by AI.
Thank you so much. Do follow up and I'll get you in. A round of applause for our 3 volunteers. That was good. That was really good. I'm really glad that we had an example of it going wrong as well. AI is not perfect. Human in the loop. That's very important. Now, I really want to do some Q&A before I let you go and get on with your drinks and party and everything else before the main radio days tomorrow. So let's get into it. What you got for me? We've got about 10 minutes. So raise a hand if you've got to ask any questions about something I've discussed here that I wasn't clear enough on, or you have a specific use case you are struggling with now. The first speaker today actually said something about making sure you get the right AI tool for the right job. You know, there's ChatGPT, there's Claude, there's Gemini. I believe she gave a great example of those split tested. And she's absolutely right. You know, you've got to use Claude for something completely different to ChatGPT. There's something for you. Who have we got? What kind of questions have we got? Raise your hand if you have anything you want to ask. Yeah, we got one over here. Go on.
Hi, sorry. It's me again. Video editing tools. What's your recommendation?
Yep, so I would say a really good one is Choppity. That will take your video and you can do a full video edit in there with AI, add in B-roll, things like that. It's really fast, really slick. They would actually just recently, I noticed they were on Dragon's Den in the UK as well, which is super cool. So they've recently got some investment, I think, from Peter Jones. So they're doing good stuff, in my opinion. That's a really good one to use. If you're talking about maybe video editing in like a more native app, like, say, for instance, Adobe Premiere Pro, not sure if it works with other apps, but there is a really great plugin called Firecut. I met the founder actually last year, never met him before, but he's a great guy and the product's really good. And that can supposedly speed up your edits and cut to just the stuff you need for videos, so it can get you more efficient. There's probably a bunch of others I could think of and let you know later, but hopefully that helps a little bit. Great. Who else have we got then? Yes? Excellent. Okay.
Hi, this is Ashu Bahel from Pocket FM. So you talked about 11 Labs, right? 11 Labs is a really great tool when it comes to English, right? But are there tools which are great in, let's say, German voices or Spanish or French voices? Because 11 Labs doesn't do a good job there.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that's a very significant point. Because AI models such as 11 Labs, speech models, are not necessarily optimized for every language. They will have been trained on a bulk of data from the English-speaking world. And I suppose that's, to me, it feels more of a statement than a question. But that's absolutely true, and we do run the risk. We're accelerating with AI, everything's going really fast, and this is all very exciting. But there are lots of people in San Francisco deciding it should be like this, whether for good or for bad. We can get really existential here on this, but we must make sure that we don't lose. I'm a really big advocate of making sure we don't lose cultures and languages and ways things are done because, one company is steamrolling in English. So, yeah, I'm with you. Okay. What else have we got?
Hey, Jared Greats from Greats Media Group. I'm completely with you in terms of AI and inbox management. It's not there yet. 2 questions for you. Who's working on solving that problem and how long?
Oh man, that's awesome. Oh my goodness. Wow. It's such a good question that I don't have the answer for you right now immediately. I don't want to get the name wrong, but there is something, I'm going to try and do it, but you can look it up. It's like something like superhuman Humans or something, or Super something. I can't remember, but they're trying to do something like that, I think. Other than that, and I haven't used that product, but I've seen it around and sort of thought, well, that looks interesting. Yeah, who's working on it? I'm sure all the big companies like OpenAI are. I'm sure, actually Google, I noticed just the other month I've got the workspace account with all the business features, and they recently rolled out AI to all of those accounts. And now I already do get really enhanced suggested replies now. It was there for a while. It used to be like 3 words, like great, thanks, or super, on it. But now they give a bit more. They're like, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? In the AI chat. But like you're referring to, it's like, when can we just take the reins off? But then, will we ever want to take the reins off? Because it's like, it's going to get like, the AI is sending an email to one person, and that person is then responding with the AI. So essentially, it's just AIs collaborating with each other on how things will work out. And that's, it's like, do you want to go to dinner tonight? Yes. Okay, yes, this restaurant. Yes, let's go here. And then the AI agents just come back to the original users and say, you're doing dinner with this person tonight at this restaurant. You're like, hang on, I don't like that person, and I hate that kind of food. So I don't know. It's a good point, though. What else have we got? Anything else? Oh, yeah. Do cut me off, Lee, when it's time. Last question then.
Yes, hi, thank you for a very interesting presentation. I'm Ville from Finnish Broadcasting Company, and I was wondering, how about the audience or the public? What kind of, do you think that they are kind of like ready to accept AI presenters or AI people, or what are they?
Yeah, exactly. Good point. Exactly. What are we dealing with here? Because in the future, a lot of our entertainment is going to be 100% AI generated. And, there are models out there now that can piece things together, make full radio shows, as you've seen with Notebook LM, full podcasts as well. I think the answer to that is kind of nuanced. So we're going to have like the pre-AI generation and the post-AI generation. And those of us who've known life before AI are always going to question everything we see and try and figure it out and say, oh, But then there's a new generation that will only know AI-generated content. And, it's a bit beyond the scope of my brain. So I'd rather ask ChatGPT to answer that question, if that's okay. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mike. Fantastic session. Don't forget to check out his Creator Magic website. Just want to finish by briefly saying that I think my main takeaway from today is that, yes, AI isn't magic, but it can do a lot. And I think it really is starting to feel like with the right app or the right agent, it feels like sometimes it can do everything. But as Mike says, AI is here to augment us and not to replace us. Or is it? Time will tell. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for coming to the AI Summit today. I want to give a quick thank you to, as well as you for coming, to Matteo Boval and Martin List for their help in planning the session today, or the summit today, tech support team, the volunteers, and the Radio Days Europe core team, and of course, our wonderful sponsors. Final reminder of the day, so I don't sound like a broken record or a broken LLM, is that do make sure you go to Swapcard, click on favorite to all of the sessions you've seen today and for the rest of the conference, because then you can rate each session, give us that value feedback, and make sure we get better and better in future events. Taking place now in seconds upstairs are some welcome drinks. There are a couple of sessions still to come today. One in the podcast summit room, which is Jackie O and Gemma O'Neill discussing their podcast, and also a Q&A in the track 4 room, aka MC3, which is a Q&A with Giannis Petridis, who's one of the most influential hosts and producers in Greek radio history. So that will be very interesting as well. But above all, hope you all have a great show and a great productive day, a couple of days, those of you staying on until Tuesday. And thank you once again for attending the AI Summit. Thank you.